Welcome to the Irresistible You podcast. This is the place to get a dose of empowerment to create the life you crave and deserve. My name is Amy with 2 E's, and I'm the CEO and founder of Irresistible University. Through my podcasting courses, I teach women just like you how to ditch the body image issues, gain confidence, and lose the emotional weight to look and feel irresistible at any size. Hello and welcome back to the podcast. I am so happy that you are here. I am coming off of an awesome weekend that I'm going to share with you in just a second and get you all caught up on what's been going on over here in my world. But this actually inspired today's episode. And the episode is about the importance of having things to look forward to. I cannot stress enough to you that you have to have things on your calendar that are coming up that you can plan for, that you can be excited about, because if you don't, you just get stuck in the monotony of the day-to-day routine. You don't branch out of your comfort zone, and you just kind of get stuck. And I'm going to share all the good stuff around that. Having something to look forward to helps you align better with your goals, and it just makes such a difference. So before we get into all the meat and potatoes of that, I want to just kind of give you, I'm just going to share some stuff with you about the weekend. So if you're following me on Instagram, you know I'm always posting stories, and I shared a ton of stories from this past weekend. So me and Frank, the kids, and Chewy, we went on a little mini road trip this past weekend, and it was for my birthday. My birthday is coming up on the 30th of July, and we celebrated over the weekend. And it's the first time that I have gone out of town or been away or really done anything like fun for my birthday, probably since 2019. And Frank was so funny. He's like, I really want to do this for you. I want to take you, blah, blah, blah. Because I'm like, no, don't do that. Like, we should put the money towards something else. Like, you know how we do. You know how we do. Like, it's so funny because I feel like once you're married and you've been married for a while, like we are coming up on 14 years this October, but once you've been married for a while, the surprise of weekend trips or jewelry or fancy gifts kind of like goes out the window a little bit, because the first thing you think is, oh my God, why did you spend this much money? Or no, don't buy me that because I really want to put money towards that. Let's pay off such and such, or let's put money in savings for this, or let's pay off that bill. And it's like, oh my God, why did you spend that money? And, you don't really have that shock and surprise of when you're dating and you don't know each other's finances. And you feel me? Like, it just makes things, it's just different because we do life together, and I love that, but it does make things a little bit different from when you're first dating. Of course, I'm just like, no, we really shouldn't be doing this right now. Like, let's put the money towards something else. We'll go later in the year. And Frank was like, no. He's like, the last few years, your birthdays have sucked. And I'm like, you're not wrong. Yes, And he's like, you deserve this and more. Because anyway, so that man would give me the world. Trust me. Like, he is amazing. And we're just at a place right now. We've been married 14 years. I'm turning 43 on Tuesday, and he'll be 44 in October. And I just feel like we are at such a great place, like, in our marriage and our relationship. Like, it's never been better in terms of just us and how we communicate and how we get along and just our energy. I don't know. It's just, things get better. Like, it's like, it is, baby. It's like fine wine. Okay. And so we did this. We went out of town, and y'all can call me corny. I will own it. I don't care, because it is corny. I I love the medieval times dinner show. Like, I'm such a little kid. I just love it. I think it's so fun. I took the kids last year for spring break. Frank didn't go. He had never been before. I had gone years ago when I was like in the travel agency business, and they used to pay for everything, and I got free tickets, and I was like 20 years old or something. So anyway, that's what I wanted to do. We have one. The closest one to Virginia Beach is in Baltimore. So it's like a 3.5 hour drive from where we live. And I'll get to that funny story in a second. But I was like, I just want to go to medieval times. I want to have fun. Like, because here's the thing, like, where the medieval times is, there's a casino also, like in that, like in Arundel Mills is like this shopping area. There is a casino and a casino hotel. Would I much rather go do that and have like a Frank and I weekend? Yes, absolutely. I would love to be able to do that. We haven't had a weekend away since Javi was born, and he's going to be 4 years old. So we are definitely craving that. We are, it's yeah. So, you know, I have to find things right now that we can do with the whole family until we have, you know, some type of childcare thing secured. And that's been really challenging and really tough. And anyway, so I was like, well, I would, because he doesn't want to, but because of his work schedule, and, you know, I work for myself, so I can go pretty much any time as long as I'm, you know, holding down the fort with my work. So anyway, it was great. And so originally we were going to drive up for the day, bring our clothes in the car, like change, go into the show, the show was at 6 p.m., do the show, come back to the car, get everybody ready, buckled in, and we were going to just roll back to Virginia Beach. For a couple of reasons. One, I'm like, we really should like save the money on the hotel. Two, we have Chewy, and Chewy also requires a babysitter, right? And that's not something we have right now in our life. So, you know, if we went up for the day, we can put Chewy in his big crate at home. He has access to his bed, his food, a pee pad. Like, he'll be okay. We have a camera. Like, he'll be okay for a little while we just do like a road trip like that. And it was, yes, y'all, it was Friday night. We were leaving Saturday morning. It was Friday night, and Frank was like, is that hotel still available? Because we already knew which one we were going to stay at if we stayed in one, and it's pet friendly, and I've stayed there before with the kids, and it's like a suite, so we have a lot of space. And I'm like, well, let's go check. We checked hotels.com. It's still available. He goes, book it. I'm like, no, we talked about this. He goes, book it now. This man, I tell you, I'm like, okay, say less. And so we booked the hotel, and we all five got in the car, and we went on this trip. And I felt so much better already, just because we don't have to drive back at home tonight. Chewy is like with us, so I don't have to worry about him being at home for a little while we're driving. And it was great. So I told you this trip is 3.5 hours. It took us 6 effing hours to get there on Saturday. Like 6 hours. Between, if you know anything about this area, like the traffic at the Hampton Tunnel, they're doing construction. It's ridiculous. There's always like a 20-30 minute delay. Okay, cool. And then once you hit 95 and you get up towards like Fredericksburg, the Northern Virginia area, everything just is like a rolling halt, or screeching halt. It is ridiculous. And some days you can get up there with no traffic. Other days it's a shit show like it was. So, we're looking at the clock. We're like, we are literally going to get there, check in, drop our stuff off in the room, change our clothes, put Chewy in the crate, say goodbye, and roll out. And thank goodness the theater is only like 5 minutes from this hotel. So that's exactly what we had to do. And we had the best time. Like, I really get into, we always do, I say always, like we've been to this so many times, but We did the VIP. I did that last time as well. So you have front row, and I get really into it and like waving the flag and screaming, and it's just ridiculous. It truly is. But I have no shame in my game. I don't care. But we had such a good time, and then we went back to the room, and I just wanted to like just chill. I got all my family here. We're all here together. I don't have to worry about any, like, I feel so much comfort when we all are together because I don't have to worry about, is so-and-so okay? Is Chewy good? Let me check the camera. We're almost home. Like, I was so happy we didn't have to do that. And, we decided the next day, or that night, Frank and I decided, we're like, we are not driving home on 95. I can't do it. It is ridiculous. So the other way you can come home is to go through Maryland, down the Eastern Shore. It's like a scenic drive. It's more relaxed. There's little places to pull over and go visit, just like a road trip. I don't really love road trips on the interstate because it's boring. So we found this, like, I'm a diehard seafood lover. Crab is just anything crab. Give me all the crab cakes, the crab legs, crab dip, crab soup. Give it all to me, please. So we found this little crab shack on the map, and we're like, I clicked on it and I started reading the reviews, and I'm like, we are going there tomorrow. It's a dive. The dive crab shacks are always hands down the best. And so we stopped off there. I put a bunch of stories about it. I was reading about the crab cake. I love crab cakes. It said they had the best crab cakes. They're full of crab. They're big. I was like, sold. Let's do it. And I ordered it. And Frank was like, you didn't order the steamed crabs? And I'm like, no. I figured it would take a while and it's like really messy. He goes, go inside and order the steamed crabs. And I'm like, no. He goes, do it now. And I'm like, okay. And because we really wanted, I had actually never had Maryland steamed crabs. And I know that's like the go-to. I'm from Virginia. We're big blue crab people too, but there's a difference a little bit, I guess. Anyway, so I did that and I have zero regrets. They were delicious, amazing, 10 out of 10. And this place was such a little dive. It was literally right off the bridge, the Chesapeake Bay Bridge, as you're coming from Annapolis. And it was called Stevensville Crab Shack. They have picnic. There's nowhere to sit inside. You order inside. They have fresh seafood. You can get it to go. You can get cooked seafood. And then you order it. You eat outside. They have picnic tables. And they bring your food out in to-go boxes, which is perfect because then if you don't finish, you just take it with you. And it was awesome because it's outside. It's dog friendly. So Chewy is chilling on the ground. The kids are actually being like the last few times that Frank and I have gone out to eat, we will look at each other and we're like, is this really happening? Like, this feels so normal again because the kids are hanging out together. We're sitting together again. They're behaving. It was just, he even said, he goes, I feel like we're out here by ourselves because we were at the picnic table and they were sitting they had like tall tables too. And the two kids were sitting there just, hanging out together and being really good. I'm like, is something wrong here? Not that they're bad, but kids are loud and they're kids. And it was just so nice. It was such I just love when you find things. I love to travel and I like to have a plan. I'm definitely a planner. I am definitely someone who wants to have somewhat of an itinerary and like, okay, this is what we're going to do this day. But I love to have room for just finding things. And this was such a gem. It was such a good find. And it's so up my alley. Like, I love a good seafood dive. That is my jam. So I didn't finish my crab cake meal. So it was already boxed up. So I took it to go. I ended up eating it for dinner last night, but I am still thinking about those steamed crabs. They were delicious. And we drove home, took our time. We stopped a few times. Another place I always stop on the Eastern Shore, if you know, is Stuckey's. And I'm like, I need my Stuckey's roll. We go to Stuckey's. They don't have them. This is going to McDonald's and them not having McDonald's fries. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, I tried something else. It was pecan gopher. It was really good, actually. And we just had this like leisurely drive home. Everybody was quiet. Like Javi just zonked out and took a nap. Kat was on her tablet playing Roblox. Chewy was just chilling. And Frank and I talked the whole way home, and it was amazing. And as soon as we came across that Chesapeake Bay Bridge tunnel, which connects back into Virginia Beach, I just felt like, wah, 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 wah. Like, I just felt so like, oh man, like, I don't want it to be Monday. I don't want to go back to reality already. I always say I need an in-between day, Sunday and Monday, to like, not have any expectations of work, not have any expectations like, oh, I got to go out and do stuff and like live it up and make memories, but just like, let's be at home. Let's get the house straightened up. Let's finish the laundry, finish unpacking, go get the car cleaned out, like catch up. But anyway, we got home and it was like almost 7 actually. And the kids wanted to go for a walk. So we did that. Chewy was done. I put him in the house. He took a nap on the couch, and the kids went on their bikes, scooters, and we went and walked around the neighborhood. And then we're like, let's go for a swim. Like, let's get home and go in the pool. And I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to keep it real. After a long day of travel, I looked at Frank and I said, can we just consider this their bath time? Like, I don't care. There is no school tomorrow. We don't have plans to go anywhere tomorrow. We're just calling it, this is it. Put your jammies on. Frank went and picked up a pizza because he's like, what's for dinner? I said, well, I'm having a crab cake. I don't know about y'all. So he's like, I'll pick up a pizza for them and for me and the kids. I'm like, all right, cool. So got them in jammies, watched some movies, got some pizza. I had the rest of my crab cake, and here we are. It's Monday. We're back in the grind, and it just, I love sharing that kind of stuff with you guys. So I hope it's not boring. But anyway, it just reiterates to me something I already know. And I think I've probably even recorded about this before, that you have to have things to look forward to. What is life if you don't have things to look forward to? What is life if all it is working, paying bills, going to sleep, wake up, rinse, repeat? Like, that is not living. That's surviving. And it's necessary, right? Like, we have to work, we have to sleep, we have to get our house, we have to spend the time doing the boring adulting chores. But what is life if you don't have things to look forward to? And when I say things to look forward to, it doesn't have to be, a vacation to Europe. It doesn't have to be a Walt Disney World vacation. It doesn't have to be getting in an airplane and even going anywhere, right? Having things to look forward to is road trips. And I'm going to get into some recommendations that I have of how to have things to look forward to, right? It's having, a dinner planned with family. It's having a lunch date with your friend. It's having a nail shop, going to the nail shop for your me time. It's having things on the calendar that you can look forward to, you can get excited about, you can count down to, you can plan for. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Obviously, the reason for that is, what I just said, having things to look forward to have fun things going on in your life that break up the monotony of being an adult and having adult responsibilities, right? But in terms of Irresistible You, in terms of your weight loss journey, it is critical that you have things on your calendar to look forward to. Because when you don't, this is how you are more likely to fall into a rut. You start wearing the same outfits. You start not doing your hair. So, I don't have anything to do today, or I'm just going to work. I'm just going to throw my hair up, in the little bun. You start wearing less makeup. You stop getting your glam on because you think, what's the point? I'm just watching kids today and going to Target. No one cares. No one's watching. You are watching. Your children are watching, okay? But you get into this rut where, you start to lose parts of yourself because you're just waking up, working, taking care of responsibilities, parenting, going to sleep, doing laundry, cooking and cleaning, and going back to sleep and doing it again tomorrow. And you have nothing to look forward to, right? So then also what happens when we have nothing to look forward to in life, what do we use as comfort? What do we use as excitement? We use food. You're using food as the one outlet in your life, the one thing that makes you happy, the one thing that brings you comfort is food. And so when you have things to look forward to outside of food, you are more likely to achieve your weight loss goals. You are more likely to take better care of yourself. You are more likely to work on your self-improvement. You're more likely to keep your house organized and to keep your house tidied and straightened up, on your car. And just, there's so many little pockets of life that you don't realize you've let go because of your weight, because of the monotony of your life. There are so many areas of your life that you look in the mirror and you don't recognize yourself anymore. You need to go to a party and you don't even have anything to wear because the last time you went to a party was 4 years ago and you don't have clothes that fit. They're either too big, too small, or out of style. And you're walking around feeling lost and clueless because you haven't had things to look forward to in a very, very long time. And that's why it's so important. It is important for your mental, spiritual, and emotional health to have things in life to look forward to. Because when you have things to look forward to, I want you to think about this for a minute. And I want you to separate the old diet industry way of thinking that I know your brain is going to go to, right? Let's talk about the old way. The old way was 6 months from now, we're going on vacation. 6 months from now, there's a wedding. 6 months from now, there's a reunion. Fill in the blank of your 6 months from now. Okay, we're going to just say 6 months from now, there's a vacation. All right. So this is the old diet industry, brainwashed diet version of you. Okay. And maybe you're still there, but I know this is the old version of me. Oh my God. Vacation, 6 months. How much weight can I lose? First thought out the gate is, oh my God, I have to wear a bathing suit. Oh my God, I have to put on shorts. I have to wear cute clothes because you're on vacation. And right now I'm too fat. So, and there's going to be pictures. Everybody's going to be taking pictures. I don't want to be seen like this. I don't want people to see me that haven't seen me in 5 years or 2 years or 6 months, whatever. So the first thought is, holy shit, I need to lose as much weight as possible so that I can be blank size by blank time, okay? So what you do is you desperate diet. You start the desperation dieting. Desperation dieting is what's the fastest way how can I lose the most weight as quickly as possible? And so doing something that you know damn well you cannot maintain for the rest of your life. Doing things that are so restrictive, so asinine and ridiculous that there is no way you could ever live the rest of your life doing those things, right? So you just do it out of desperation. And it's really hard to stay focused with that. It's really hard to stay on track. And so you fall off the wagon, you get back on the wagon, you fall off, you get back on because it's too hard. Because it's not meant to be doable, right? And then all of a sudden it's 3 weeks before you're leaving and you've lost one size, or you haven't lost any sizes. You're the same, or you've gained. Either way, you're not where you wanted to be. Right? You are not where you wanted to be. This is not the vision that you had in your head about what you were going to look like on this awesome vacation, right? So now you hate yourself. So now you beat yourself up. So now the inner fat bitch comes out to play and is like, see, I told you so. I told you you suck. I told you you're never going to lose weight. I told you you're going to look disgusting. You're going to look so fat and gross on this trip. Look at you. You're such a failure. That's the inner fat bitch talk going on in your head. And you keep waiting. You're like, well, I got 3 more weeks. I'm going to wait and buy some clothes. Because that was the whole thing, right? You're going to buy a whole new wardrobe. You're going to buy all new sizes. But now, like, the rubber is hitting the road and it's almost time to go. You need to have outfits. You need to pack. And you don't have anything to wear. And now, because you've waited so long, it's harder to get things. You don't want to put anything on because perhaps if you're going in person, there are no, which, my God, shopping in person nowadays, there are no options. The clothes are hideous. There are limited stores anymore anyway. And so you're stuck, right? So you're like, okay, let me order some stuff on Amazon. Let's see if it fits. And it comes in and it's either too tight or too big, or it doesn't fit, or it just doesn't look good. And that puts you in such a foul, nasty mood for this trip that you've been working your ass off to pay for, okay? And you go on this trip and you don't live the fullest. You don't stay in the moment. You aren't present because all you are worried about is what you look like. All you are worried about is, what people are thinking, what the pictures are going to look like. Holy shit, I better not get tagged in those photos, right? And then on that trip, the whole time, all you're doing is making that like negotiation with yourself. I swear to God, when I get back from this trip, I'm going to lose all this weight. I'm never going to feel like this ever again, right? And the cycle probably repeats itself. That is the old brainwashed diet industry way of thinking about, oh, you got a vacation coming up to look forward to. That means weight loss, weight loss, weight loss. That is not why we need things to look forward to, right? I told you the other reasons why we need things to look forward to. It is not so that you get to your goal weight, okay? When you have a vacation or an event coming up or something to look forward to, it is more about for your mental and emotional health, all the things I already shared with you before this. And also, when it does come to your weight loss, I think it is very helpful, but not helpful in the way I just described, because we know that that is not helpful. It's helpful in the sense that it keeps us on track, right? And when you can tweak your mindset and the way you're thinking about things, that is a game changer in this whole journey for you. So what I mean by that is you can set a goal, right? You can set a goal to say, by this time, I would like to be in this size, or I would like to weigh X, or I would like to feel this way or look this way. And so you have this thing to look forward to that helps you in those moments where you just don't feel like making a good choice. You just don't feel like exercising. You just don't feel like cooking tonight. You're like, well, I have that trip coming up. I really, really want to look and feel a certain way, right? And that's what I want you to focus on. I don't want you to focus on so much of like, I have to be this size, but it's like, I want to go on this trip and feel blank. So at the beginning of July, I shared with you guys that there was a gift that I wanted to give myself this year for my birthday that Frank cannot buy me, my kids cannot buy me, I cannot buy it for me, right? And that gift was to get to Wonderland. I'm going to create an episode. I'm going to do another 10 pounds 10 times this week and catch you guys up on the weight loss journey, like the specifics, the numbers, where I'm at. When I set that goal, I also told myself, if you don't get there, or if you get there or you don't get there, it's okay as long as you are further ahead than you are today. And also, I want to feel blank when we go on my birthday. I want to feel like comfort, comfort. I want to feel comfortable. I want to feel good in my body. I want to feel I just want to feel good in my skin. And I did. I'm going to share with you guys the specifics, the numbers in that episode. But what this does when you have something to look forward to is it allows you to better visualize and manifest what you want to do, right? Because when you have something coming up, you want to think about, okay, how do I want to feel on that day? When that day comes, I don't want to be looking in the mirror, ripping my body apart. I don't want to be in a dressing room crying on the floor because nothing fits me, right? I want to feel peace. I want to feel comfortable. I want to feel proud of myself. And so then between now and the event, you take actions that are going to let you feel that way on that day. Okay. And that can look a lot of different ways depending on what you're trying to do, right? You might see your hairstyle a certain way. Okay. So let's go make sure that happens. A certain type of outfit, a certain type of look, a certain type of vibe. Like, you just have to really visualize how you want to show up for yourself. And that's the other thing, is make sure that you're doing this for yourself, right? Show up for yourself. Like I said earlier, how you get in that rut where you're like, well, who cares? I'm not going anywhere today. Well, you should care. And we all know that when we wake up and we take a shower and we do our hair and we put on our makeup and we put on a nice outfit, we put our jewelry on, we spritz our perfume, we feel irresistible. That makes you feel irresistible and it makes you feel good. And then as a result, the rest of the day, you're more productive, you're more at peace, you're more ambitious in all the areas. You're more willing to go out and do things because you've already got yourself put together. And if you have children, believe me when I tell you, they are watching. And do you want your kid, like if you're like, oh, I'm just a mom. Like, first of all, don't even say that. But like, oh, I'm just a mom who stays home and watches my kids and no. Like, what kind of example are you setting for them by rolling out of bed, putting on clothes from yesterday, and bumming around? What is that teaching them about how to be proud of themselves and how to package themselves up in a way that makes them feel good about themselves? This isn't about being vain and like, oh, it matters what you look like, but it does matter how you take care of yourself. It does matter how you present your package to the world, and you are the package, right? How are you presenting your package to the world? Because it matters. It matters for yourself. Because when you show up in the world looking disheveled, haven't washed your hair in 3 days, wearing the same outfit from yesterday, like, you go in the store and you can't even hold your head up high. You stare at the ground. You don't say hello to people. It's just, you don't stand up for yourself because you don't want anyone to you don't want to draw attention to yourself. So if someone does something rude or doesn't give you the right price on an item at the store, you don't say anything about it. So it has implications, okay? And when you have these things to look forward to, it stops that, well, who cares? Who cares if I eat that extra ice cream today? Who cares if I have a second helping? Like, whatever, I'll start over tomorrow. And instead you're like, no, I had a goal. I have a goal that I was going to be blah, blah, blah by the end of the month, right? And so it really, really does help you to push forward to your goals. And when you do that, even if you don't achieve the weight loss number, you will still be proud of yourself, because I tell you guys all the time, it's not about the goal. It's about the actions to get to the goal, because we don't always control the outcome, right? But if you say to yourself, every single day I was consistent and I did what I said I was going to do, that can make you feel proud of yourself, right? It's about the actions that you are taking to create consistency every single day so that eventually, maybe you don't hit the goal this month, you're going to hit it next month. Okay? And you won't hit your goals if you keep beating yourself up for not getting there. Right? It's easy to beat yourself up and do the inner fat bitch stuff when you didn't really put the work in. Because that prior example, the old me version example that I gave you, was someone who didn't really put the work in. Like, they half-assed it. They did it for a few weeks, then they fell off, then they did it again, and they're like, oh my God, it's like, how did we get here? I don't understand how I got here again. It's the same example of you waking up in the summer on the first hot day of the year and going, oh my God, my shorts don't fit. How did this happen? Because you chose to zone out. You chose to not be conscious every day of your decisions. You chose to not be mindful. You chose to not live in the moment. You chose to be a zombie in your own life. And when you zombie walk your ass through your life, you wake up going, oh my God, where did the time go? Oh my God, how am I fat again? Oh my God, how did I not lose the weight? Because what did you do to earn it? What have you done to earn it? What have you done? So, having these things on your calendar, I don't even want to say it's a nice to have. It is a must have. And again, you don't have to take big, fancy, lavish vacations around the world or even across the country. You just have to plan. Maybe it's even, once a week, once a month, I'm going to go, I don't know, whatever it is you're into. Have those things coming up. Have dates on the calendar with people that you care about. Have time alone. Go on dates with yourself even, okay? And it's so easy to get caught up in life and go, oh my God, the summer's almost over. And what have I done? What have I done? Because let's be real. It's the end of July, right? Like, my kids were out of school right at Memorial Day, and they go back at Labor Day. So that's a long time, right? That's all of June, all of July, all of August, and like a couple days, September and May. And I thought, we're going to really do something this summer. We made a bucket list. I asked the kids, I said, what do you want to do this summer? And every time we do things, I have another list where I write it down. I have it all on my phone. And that is such a great way to get out of, oh my God, the summer's almost over. And what did we do? I go back to that list all the time. And I go, we have done a lot, right? Because I've had a little bump in the road. Like, we had some challenging stuff that happened this summer. And we got through that. It's over. This is going to be like named the summer that Amy didn't have her car. Because ever since June 20th, we are at the end of July as of this episode, I still don't have my car. Okay? They still can't figure out what's wrong with it. At this point, I have no idea when I'm getting it back. Like, I've just kind of surrendered to the issue and been like, you know what? It is what it is at this point. Like, I'm going to just surrender it. Thank you, God. We have Frank's car. Yes, it is taxing on us to have to share and have to coordinate, and not having my car here to just on a whim take a road trip or take the kids places drives me insane. But it is what it is. And I can get caught up in that going, there was so much stuff I already wanted to get done. And here we are, it's about to be August. And then I look at the list and I'm like, damn. Or I go back and look through my Google photos. I'm like, okay, like we're doing okay here. Like, we're doing good. And that's why at the change of every season, I get so emotional, you guys, like, because I've always had, and it's heightened with having kids. It's heightened with Chewy, like, and Chewy getting older, that life is so fleeting, that there's only so many years, right? It really magnifies that. And I get very emotional at the change of seasons because I'm like, I really enjoyed this time. And that makes my heart happy that I can say, I know where the summer went. I know what we did over the summer. And I'm so emotional that it's ending because it was so packed with memories, right? And I do, the older I'm getting, I get like that every season. We're like, I'm not ready for this to end. Like I've already noticed the shift. There's a shift every single summer that there's a certain bug sound at night. There's a little bit of shift in the air, the way the air feels, the way the temperature feels, that you can feel the summer slow. It's slow. It's a very slow and it's very subtle, but a very slow slipping through your fingers. And fall is just kind of, it's not here yet. It's not even like teasing yet, but there's like a shift. The season is shifting. You can feel it outside. And then there's a moment in August where I swear this happens every year where I'm swimming and I just, this solo leaf just, boop, it falls in the pool. And I'm like, oh shit, here we go. And it starts to get dark earlier and earlier. Like we're already starting to see that a little bit. And it's subtle. And when you're so caught up in work, reporting, strategies, parenting, people's mission statements and vision statements and all this shit that doesn't even, minus the parenting, that really doesn't freaking matter. You miss all of that. No one cares about your strategic vision. Like, I'm sorry, but nobody cares. Like, I've just really been on this kick lately with like that kind of stuff where it's like, can I just say the obvious right now that, and if anyone's listening to this, it's like a recruiter that was thinking of hiring me for like an instructional design contract or anything learning and development, they'll probably never hire me now. But nobody is on LinkedIn because they want to be there. Nobody. And I mean nobody. Nobody gives a shit about your strategic vision. People act like they give a shit because they want to get a job, because they want to get hired. But nobody actually cares. If you were to ask people, would you rather sit in a stuffy office all day and work on strategic visions for other people, or would you rather be out and about on vacation? What do you think people are going to choose? We work because we have to fund the life that we want, right? And I am just such in a place like that where I just don't care about that stuff. Like, I just don't. Anyway, that's neither here or there. And I could get in a whole new episode for that because anyway, yeah. My point of saying all that is to say that stuff doesn't matter. When you're on your deathbed, no one's going to ask you, how did you create that strategic vision for your manager? Did you feel really good about that when your company's stocks increased, but your salary didn't? How did that feel for you? Aren't you so glad that you missed your kids' graduation ceremony? Aren't you glad you missed your kids' dance recital so that you could write somebody's fucking spreadsheets to get them more money on the bottom line that you're never going to see? Aren't you glad you went and did that? No one's going to be glad that they missed all those things. I promise you, you won't even remember staying late at work, but you will always remember letting your family down. You will always remember letting yourself down. You will always remember that. And you will always regret it every single time. So it is time to put stuff on your calendar that you want to do, because you cannot just make life this monotonous blend of boring ass shit. Being an adult is boring. Work is boring. Paying bills is boring. Paying taxes is boring. Cleaning the house is boring. Right? Nobody wants to do any of that. But we have to, and we do it so that we can have the life that we want. But do you have the life that you want? That's another question you got to ask yourself. Like, if you don't have the life you want, then what are you doing? You know, Frank asked me in the car last night, he said, your dream job, or he said, if a job wanted to hire you for $250,000 a year, are you taking it? And I said, nope. I said, nope. Mm-mm. He's like, he knows me. He knows my heart. He knows what matters to me. And for him, he's not the entrepreneur mindset that I am, right? Where I'm like, you know, going on a limb, feast or famine. I'm going to make it happen. Like, let's do this shit, right? Freedom means more to me than money, blah, 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 right? And I'm like, no. I said, okay, let me back it up a little bit. It would have to be a really, really sweet deal for another company to ever own me again, right? I will take my high taxes. I will take my high health insurance bill. I will take the ups and downs, the highs and lows of being an entrepreneur before I ever take a $250,000 a year job where someone gets to tell me and I have to get permission to take my kids to the doctor, to take my kids to the aquarium on a random Thursday in the summer because I fucking want to. No one will ever control me again like that. And I'm not saying this to disparage anybody else who works full-time and works for an employer. I don't. My husband works full-time. He works for an employer, and it works really well for him. It works really well for us as well, right? But what I do is not for everyone. And my point in telling you that is I know that about myself, that I am so secure in what I want and what matters to me and my values that I would not accept that, even though other people are probably gawking and passing out and clutching their fucking pearls right now, that I said no. Okay? And if it was on the table, it would have to be, okay, but I have the autonomy to work when I'm working. I'll be at your meetings. I have my deadlines, but you're not going to tell me when to work. If I want to work 4 hours in the morning and 4 hours at night or 2 hours in the afternoon, that's what I'm doing. So, you know, I don't even know how I got on this tangent right now. I guess it's just about, like, are you living life on your own terms, the way you want to be living it? And I am. Like, I'm not going back to that life. It's been almost since I was a full-time employee. Oh my God. Are we 6 years? Yes, guys, it has been 6 years. Like, I've always had my side business. I've always had my blogs. I've always had like gigs on the side, but full-time, no one else is funding me. I'm making my own money. I'm doing it all by myself here for 6 years. And it has been 6 years of high highs and low lows, let me tell you. And working for yourself is not for everyone. And I have hated authority since I was in kindergarten. I remember telling off the crossing guard coming home from school in kindergarten because I didn't like the way they spoke to me. I didn't like what they were telling me. I want to do things my way. I want to do things the way I want to do them, right? And that is just in my blood. It's who I am. It's in my blood, and it works for me, right? You know, and it is scary sometimes working for yourself. And, you know, I shared very personal stuff with you guys recently that I had 2 corporate clients that all of a sudden just paused. The projects paused, and they were 80% of my income. Okay. Things have picked back up. Things are, you know, really rocking and rolling as, you know, this is what usually happens as the summer is starting to end in this field of learning and development. But that's scary. That is terrifying. And some people would think, oh my God, like how can you live like that? I can't live the other way. Because if there's one thing about me, you guys, I am resourceful. I am resilient. I know how to hustle. I know how to do what I got to do when I got to do it. Okay. And I will always figure shit out. Always. Like, you could throw me some lemons, but believe me, I'm going to make lemonade out of it every single time. I might cry the first day that I'm having to make the lemonade, but you better believe I'm going to make it. And you have to have that mindset, I think, in life, period, of just like, all right, you got a lemon. What are you going to do with it? How are you going to handle this? Are you going to sit around and be a victim? Or are you going to sit around and do something about it? And if you're sitting around not liking where your life is, not liking the things that are happening to you, then fucking change it. I say that with love and respect, but fucking change it already. And I don't say that to be flippant because I know how hard it is. I know how challenging it is. But what steps are you going to start taking today to put you closer to where you want to be? Because you're able to do it. It's not going to happen overnight, but you have the power to make those changes. And if you don't put things out there to look forward to, let me tell you, no one's doing it for you. No one is doing it for you. No one. So, I talked about the bucket list as like a seasonal list. I like having a seasonal list because I really love living life by the seasons that are going on. Like a seasonal list. Like this one was all about summer. And we've still got some things on there that we need to get through. But having that seasonal list of what you want to do so that when the season is over, you're not like, damn, I spent the whole summer indoors. And if you're working in an office, that's very possible. That you're waking up early in the morning, dropping the kids off, going to the office, working until 5 or 6, getting in the car, going to get the kids, getting home, it's almost dark, doing the Bed Bath & Beyond routine, and waking up tomorrow and doing it again and never enjoying the summer. Even if that means you got to enjoy it on these little pockets on the weekends, that's what we do, okay? Because my husband works nights. I work during the day, so we don't have to worry about childcare. I'm home working. He's here with the kids. We do the little switcheroo. We change shifts, changing of the guard. He goes to work. I take over with kids. And the only time that we have for the 5 of us as a family is Saturdays and Sundays. And I will look at my house on Friday night and go, wow. Wow. It's been a week. It's been a week. Somehow the kitchen area, the bar, if you have an island or you have like a bar that divides we have a bar that divides the, oh my God, I can't even speak, the kitchen from the family room. So you can see the family room while you're in the kitchen. Anyway, like an island basically. And that bar is Grand Central Station. The bills end up on there, the receipts from the week, the mail, the kids' artwork from school, the broken plastic piece that I need to take upstairs to put on the plastic shit upstairs that broke, the screw that fell off the dog gate. It's just this like holding ground for all the things in the family, right? And I try to clean it up on Sunday. By Friday night, I'm like, wow, this is great. Laundry is piled up again, or maybe it wasn't even put away in the first place and we've been living out of a laundry pile. Like, I keep it real here. Keep it 100 because that happens a lot. The toys are all over the place. The house needs to be straightened up, right? And I'm like, I'm tired. And then Saturday comes and I'm like, so we could do one of two things. I think I said this last episode. It's like, we're either going to spend the time tidying up this house and doing the chores, or we're all going to get in the car and go crabbing or go fishing or go to the beach or go out of town and make memories. And I'm going to make memories. And I'm sitting here on Monday and I told you, wishing I had an in-between day because we need to finish the laundry. We need to straighten up. We need to get the car vacuumed from the weekend and from last weekend because it still has sand in it. We need to do some things, and then here it is Monday and it's like, do I put work in? Well, yeah, because I got bills to pay. Like, that's not an option. Or do I spend the time straightening up and tidying up? And then when the work is over, it's like, do I spend the time with my children? Because I do a lot with them in the afternoons. Like, we'll do like little activities or art and crafts. Like, especially right now, like not being able to use the car as much. Like, I've been doing a lot of that at home and they eat that stuff up. They love it. Or I'm like, hey, get your bathing suits on. Let's go outside, hit the pool, right? I would rather be in the pool with my kids than, deep cleaning the cracks of the tile floor. So, you just have to prioritize. Now, there comes a time where it's like, we can't let this go anymore. We just have to, take some time and get it done. And we did that a few weekends ago. It was raining. We're like, we're going to just be at home. And we deep cleaned and decluttered the kids' rooms, and it was fabulous. It was great to get rid of all that stuff. But what do you have to look forward to? What do you have? So if you only have that time on the weekend, how do you want to spend it? And I want to spend it with my people. I want to spend it with them because, again, time is fleeting, you guys. Like, Kat and Javi are going to be 8 and 4 in October. And, you only have so many years that they're little and that they want to just that excitement and that fun that they have when you take them places and they see things for the first time, right? And Chewy is 15. He's 15 years old, you guys. He turned 15 in June of this summer. And I've seen his age coming. I've seen it. I would say overall, like, he's doing amazing for his age. Like, being 15 years old for a dog is like, and this road trip, I see it. Like, he's slower. He's walking slower. He coughs a lot more. He has a heart murmur also. So that's, always there. But I don't want to say the obvious right now, but I understand it, right? I'm going to cry if I start talking about it too much. We don't know how much time we have with people. We don't know. So I want to do as much as I possibly can and make the memories, because what else do you have? If that thing that you need to pay off, that loan, that credit card, that bill, that whatever, you won't remember it in 3 years, but you'll remember the trip. You'll remember the road trip. I'll remember the road trip from my birthday to medieval times and the crab shack and the memories and hanging out with the kids and seeing them skipping down the hallway in the hotel. Like, they could stay at a hotel down the road and they would think it is like the best thing that ever happened to them. I'll remember that. That's what matters. And that's like core memories being made, right? And it gives you time to like reconnect with your people, with yourself. So in addition to that bucket list, seasonal list, I want you to also look at where you live, okay? And I want you to look at a map, look at where you live, okay? And I want you to go north, south, east, west. And I want you to look at what is around. What is around? Because chances are, if you've lived in your city for long enough, like I'm at Virginia Beach, born and bred, native. I've been here way too long. I've done everything. I know where everything is. Like, I've pretty much done almost everything in this general area, right? And it gets old. It gets boring. So what is it to the north of me to do? Like little road trips. Oh, I want to check out this restaurant. I want to check out this winery. Oh, check out this this place or this site, this nature thing, whatever. Like, look stuff up. North, west, east, and south. And just create like a a little list. So when you're sitting there and going, I don't know what we're going to do today. Where do we want to go today? Oh, you know what? There's that place up in the Eastern Shore that we passed by. Let's go do that today, right? I'm just using that because that's where I am. Or there's this little cute town in the mountains. I really want to go there during the fall because they have this awesome like Halloween festival, right? Start writing stuff down so that when the day comes and you have free time, you're not like, oh, what should I go do? And if you're in your city and you've never really done a lot in your city, then you be a tourist in your own town, right? If money is an issue and it's tight, be a tourist in your own town. Look for things to do that don't cost a lot of money. Having things to look forward to doesn't mean a vacation around the world, a luxury cruise. That is not, if that's what you're doing, hey, that's awesome. I love that. I love travel. But it doesn't have to be that. It can be a massage. It can be the nails. It can be lunch by yourself. Who cares if you don't have friends? Go to lunch by yourself. I do that all the time. When I go like do my nail day, I'll go have sushi by myself and I love it. I love it. Give me the alone time, please. So it's just so important. It's important to your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health, your weight loss journey, your Irresistible You journey, all of it. All of it. And part of the Irresistible You framework that I teach in my courses is feed your soul. There's 5 guiding principles in the framework. That is one of the guiding principles. And you feed your soul by getting out and doing things that you want to do. And if you don't know what feeds your soul, then you have to start exploring and just trying new things, right? Try new things and see what happens. So this is the longest episode I have done in a very long time. So I hope if you're still here, first of all, thank you. Thank you for rocking with me and joining me and being here and being a part of this Irresistible You community. It means the world to me to have you here. And if you love the podcast, it has resonated with you, it has helped you, please share it with a friend. Please share your rating and review on your podcast player because that helps other people find the podcast. It increases the algorithm so that other people can find it because the algorithm goes, oh, people like this. Cool. And if you want to stay connected between podcast episodes, there's a few ways to do that. Number 1, please get on my email list. If you sign up on my email list right now, there is a free action plan that includes the Irresistible You framework. Get on that list. That will also get you in kind of the know. You get new episode when new episodes drop, when there are new courses coming out, new products, new things like that within the community. You will be the first to know if you're on my list. And we never know what social media is going to do, so that is one way to guarantee we can stay in touch. Also on social media, I am over at Irresistible Icing on Instagram. It's at Irresistible Icing. That is where I spend the most time. Let's connect over there. And then we also have the Irresistible You podcast discussion group on Facebook. I am trying to revive that group. It is a dormant, abandoned building at this point, but we're going to try to revive that and get it back, have a weekly discussion going after each episode drops. So make sure you click over and request to join. And I always recommend listening to the podcast with Amazon Music. If you are an Amazon Music or an Amazon Prime member, you have access to Amazon Music for free. If you're not a Prime member, I have a 30-day free trial for you down in the show notes. Sign up, check it out, and make that your podcast player. You're going to love it. Plus, there's tons of other benefits to Prime, which we can get into another day. So on that note, thank you so much for listening. I will catch you in the next episode. Until then, stay irresistible. Bye, guys.